Hello everyone, I am Devalena Burman, 6th semester, 3rd year. Today I will be discussing the DBMS chapters that includes data analytics, physical data structure system, data storage structure, indexes, query processing, query optimization, transaction, concurrency control. These are all the topics will be included in this video. So be with me and have a good session with me. So let's start with the data analytics. Data. What do you mean by data analytics? It's mean that examining of data stored in a database to find the useful information, pattern, and trends. And it helps in the business making better decision. Uh, and it turns the raw data into insights. Now we will be looking on the example. Okay, the example that includes a retail store uses its sale database to find out which product are mostly will be used during the holidays. Now we are having that this is about the and data analytical overview. Now we will be knowing about the data warehousing. Data warehousing is a very it is a large storage system that gathers the data from the different sources and that organizes it for analysis and reporting. That means here we can see that the informations and all the organization will give us the data for analyzing and for reporting it. Now we'll be looking more about that data warehousing. Data warehousing it gives us to think about that it as a central library where all the data is collected from the different departments. Now the data warehouse. Now we will be knowing about what are the features the data warehouse is having. It is having a great role in storing of the historical data, data optimization for analysis. Not it is not used for the frequent data, but it is used for analysis only. It will gives us the integrated data of the various or multiple databases. Now we will be knowing about the example regarding data warehousing. Now we will be knowing the example that is a company that combines the data of the sales that is having from in the online platforms and calls into a call the centers into one data warehouse to see the total performance. In a simple word, we can say that data will be collected of the stores of many years or the online products what is happening in one total performance. It will give all the solution. Now we will be knowing about OLAP. Yes, OLAP, that means the online analytical processing. This technology used to analyze the data in the multi-directional way. That means the data will be analyzed in the multi-directional way. It will help the user to see the data from the different angles like time, location, or the product. We can think it as key slicing and dicing a cube of data to get the exact piece of information we need. It is having the features like key. It will be giving us fast queries and support us of calculating of the complex and helps us to comparison between the products and give us the exact answer or the data what we need. Now we will be going through the example of OLAP, that is a manager wants to know monthly salaries of a product in all the cities, and OLAP will give us quickly provide or give us the slicing of the sales data by time and location. Means within the time the sale it will give us the data of the sales within the time or the location what happened within a second, or by searching it, by analyzing all the multi-directional way the OLAP will give the data. Now we will be knowing about the data mining. Data mining is an important process of discovering the patterns, trends, and the relation of sets of data using the algorithms and machine learning. We can think it as key digging through the data to find the gold. Means we will be digging the data one by one, or and to get the valuable data or the insights we will be digging it, we will be extracting it, and it is having the users like the predicting of the future trends, customer behavior analysis, fraud detection. These are all the useful information and all the useful things that we can do using the data mining. And for example, we can use it in the e-commerce companies that uses the data mining to find that the customer who buy the smartphones also often buy the smartphone cases. So it starts suggesting the cases to user who add the phones to their cart. In the other words, we can say that suggesting items based on the past customer purchase it. मतलब purchase is on the basis of the past purchase, or because of having how much it was having been rated and how the product is. On that basis, the basis of the past information, the customer buys all these things. Now we will be knowing about the third chapter that includes. Now we will be knowing about the next chapter, that is the physical storage and system. Physical storage, that is the hardware based methods that is used to store the data in the tangibles form. This system is used for saving, backing up, and accessing the data in computing environments. Now we will be looking on the types of the physical storage system, that includes HDD, that is the hard disk drives, solid state drives, optical drives, flash storage, magnetic tape, network data storage area network, and external hardware hard disks. These are all the types of the physical storage system. Now we will be knowing about the HDD, that is the hardware disk drive. And the hardware disk drive, it includes the magnetic storage. That means by spinning the disks, we can read or write the data magnetically. It is having the large storage. It is most cost effective, and it is slower than HDD, that is the solid state drive. Now we will be knowing about the solid state drives. Solid state drives is a flash memory based storage, that is key. It stores the data with no moving parts. It is having a faster performance, and it is more durable. Means it is more expensive per GB than HDD. Means it is having a more expensive with respect to the gigabytes. So the next type is our optical drive, that looks on the CD, DVO, or the Blu-rays. These are the types or the used optical drives. Optical drives that are used for the laser technology that is used for reading or to write in the text, and it is used for the media and the archival storage. Now we'll be knowing about the next type of physical storage system, that is the flash storage. It is a portable solid state memory. It is having a great for transferring and temporarily storing data. That means it is having a good transferring and having a temporary storing data processor. Now we will be knowing about the magnetic tape, that is mainly used for the long-term archival storage. Network address storage, that is the next type, that we can say it in short, that is NAS. It is said to be as the centralized data access for the multiple users. Means at a time the data will be accessed to the multiple users. Next type is storage area network, that we in short we can say it's SAN. It is having the high speed network that provides access to solid the block level storage. And the next type is the external hard drives. External hard drives, it is the portable HDD, means the hard drive disks. It is the external version of the HDD. Now we will be discussing about the data storage structure in DBMS. Data storage structure in DBMS, it helps us to format or having the effective access and manipulation and management in our data. So now we will be discussing on it only. We will be discussing how the storage level of the DBMS. There are three types of the storage level in DBMS, that are the external or the view level. The second is the logical level or the conceptual level, and the third one is the internal level or the physical level. Now we will be discussing about the external level, that is the first one level, external level or the view level, where the user view the database, and here the different viewers can have the different views of tailoring to their needs. Means they can get the information of their needs regarding to their wish only. Now we'll be talking about the conceptual or the logical level, where the data will be stored and the relations among them will be described in the logical level or in the conceptual level. Means it is independent of how the data is physically stored. Now we will be talking about the internal level and the physical level, that it describes about the data, how it's actually stored in the device, and it includes the involvement of the structures like files, indexes and the blocks. These are all about the internal level. It comes under the internal level or physical level of storage in DBMS. Now we will be talking about the physical storage structure. Physical storage structures are having four, that is the heap file, that is unordered, sequential file, that is in ordered, then hash file organization and index file organization. Sequential file organization is ordered, that means the recorded or the stored data are stored in a sequential manner, means it is having a effectiveness when we will have the queries and when we will search. Now we will be talking about the heap file, that is unordered, means randomly they can insert randomly the information or the data can be inserted. That means there is no particular order stored, no particular orderly stored in that file. Means it is having the faster way or faster for insert, but it gives us the slow for search. Now we will be talking about the hash file organization. The hash file function is used to determine the location of the records. It is good for the equality search. It is good for the equality search. Now we'll be talking about that indexed file organization. It gives us about the indexes or that are created on the file to speed up the searches. To speed up the searches, index file organization have been used. The index file organization are having the types like single level index, multi-level index, B plus trees, B minus trees. That are all about the index file organization. Now we will be knowing about the technologies that have been used to access the data. There are two type of data access technology, that is sequential, and another is the direct access. Means in the sequential data access technology, we will be finding or we will be access the record one by one sequentially. Means we will be accessing the data sequentially. And in the direct access, the jump directly to the direct location using the indexes or hash function. That means jumping to that particular location or the particular position, they can access the data by using the hash function or index function. Now we will be talking about the buffer management. In DBMS, it is uses as the main memory buffer to temporarily hold the data blocks from disk to reduce the operation input output operations. Buffer is very useful in this storing of the data. Now we will be discussing on the next topic. Be with me. Next chapter that includes indexing. We will be knowing about indexing. Indexing is used basically to find out about the location quickly and to access the data in a database. And it is used and are created on the columns of the data. It is used and created in the columns of the data to speed up the data data retrieval operation. And there are the four indexes that are used. There are the primary indexes, secondary indexes, dense indexes, and sparse indexes. Primary indexes that is built on the table's primary key, and the second index that builds on the non-primary key columns, and the dense index, it is used to record for every key search values. For the every key search value, we use the dense index, and for the search index value, that the index appears only for the sum of the search key values. Means it is not available for the every search values, but for the specifically they have been used for searching the values. Now we will be knowing about the ordered indexes. Ordered indexes that maintain the ordering of the search keys. Ordered indexes are of four types, that is single level indexes, multi-level indexes, clustered indexes, non-clustered indexes. Now we will be knowing about the single level indexes. It contains the key pointer values, key pointer pairs. And for the multi-level indexes, index on an index to reduce the number of disk accesses. and the cluster index, that is having the order of the rows in the table is same as the index. That means row, the number of the indexes will be proportionally equal to the order of the rows in the table. And for the non-cluster indexes, the number of the order of the indexes does not match the actual data. That means the actual data and the ordered index one does not have similar values, or this doesn't match, it doesn't match. Now we'll be knowing about the B plus 3 indexes. B plus indexes is mostly and most widely used type in DBMS. DBMS, it is having the effective range queries, the better it having the better disk rate performance due to the fewer level. Because of the having of the fewer level, the advantage is the effectiveness or the better reading performance is more in B plus 3 indexes. Now we'll be knowing about B minus 3 indexes. B minus 3 indexes, it's similar like the B plus 3 indexes, where the data are stored in the leaf or the internal nodes. They are stored in the internal and the leaf nodes, and it is slightly efficient for the range queries. It is less efficient. It is not efficient like the B plus. It is less efficient for the ranging of the queries. Now we'll be knowing about the hash. Hash it gives information, or we can jump to the specific location by using hashing function. It is effective. It is more effective than B plus 3 query indexes. It is not suitable for the range queries. It is not used for, means it is not suitable for the range queries, as we know that hashing. Now we'll be knowing about the write optimized indexes. It designed for the high write performance. For having the high write performance, we will be using the write optimized indexes. It reduces the index input and output during the write intensive operation. During the input and output during the write intensive operation, it will reduce. Now we will be knowing about the spatio-temporal indexing. It is used for the data that varies in the space and time, like GPS, weather, medical tracking. These are all of the examples that is used for the spatial temporal indexing. Now we will go to the next chapter, that is, now we will know about the transaction in DBMS. Transaction is a logical unit where it consists of one or more SQL operation like insertion, update, delete or select. These are all about the transaction, and the transaction must be atomic, consistent, isolated and durable. It follows the property of acid. Now we will know about the transaction state. The transaction states that follows, that are active, partially committed, failed and abort. Now we will discuss about the active portion. The transaction is being executed. It is the active portion of the transaction state. Then partial committed, after the final operation, but before the changes are made permanent, before the changes are made performance, we can have those changes. And committed, that all the operations are successfully completed and changes are saved. it is the committed means all the informations will be saved, and as per the changes are also accepted and are saved. Failed means there will be some errors occurred during the transaction and the transaction cannot be continued because of the failure in the server. It can be the server or in the process abortion aborted. All the changes are rolled back due to failure. Means due to the failure of the due to the failure, the changes will be rolled back. It will go back and we have to do again. We have to do the process again to have the solution or to get the transaction full of. Thank you. Today after this and today, thank you for listening me. Thank you.